Dan Willis here, and we're talking about how to deal with debt collectors and specifically how to negotiate with collection agencies, specifically negotiating a settlement agreement. Now, first and foremost, you should only enter into negotiations if your account is valid and within the statute of limitations. We discussed that here in an earlier video. We'll include a link in the description below. Assuming your account is valid and within the statute of limitations, your next step is to enter into negotiations, and there's two big pieces here. But first, it's vitally important to get your settlement agreement in writing. Now, the first piece is to always negotiate to settle your account for much less than the total balance. Typically and generally, you'll be able to settle and pay off this debt in collections for as little as 15% up to about 45% of the total balance. For a $1,000 debt, you could settle it for just 30% or $300. Now, this is standard operating practice and procedure. The amount you'll actually be responsible for paying will depend on the type of account and how old your debt is. The older it gets, most likely the less you'll have to pay. But always negotiate to settle your account for much less than the total balance. They'll be happy to accept payment for much less. This is totally standard operating practice. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Now, the second part of your agreement is mission critical. In exchange for your payment, you must get this collection agency to agree that they'll stop reporting your account information. If you overlook this, once you make payment, we're going to get slapped with that paid collection, and that paid collection listing on our credit report is going to drag our credit score down. We've got to get that item off of our credit report, and that's why it's so important that you get them to agree to stop reporting your account information. And we'd also add that if you make your payment using a personal check, please put something in the memo line about them agreeing to stop reporting your account information to all three of the credit bureaus. That big key is how we're going to get this item off of your credit report. And if you'd like the full story, we're going to include a link in the description below over to an article. We also have a free report at our website, the 7 proven ways to boost your credit score. Now, the next step is actually removing that collection from your credit report. After you make your payment, we're going to need to use more of your rights as a consumer, and specifically those granted under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA. This is what enables you to dispute and challenge any item on your credit report so long as you believe it's made in error, it's misleading, or it's incorrect. And yes, we're going to dispute this collection listing, and there's 3 ways to file your credit bureau dispute. You can do it online, over the phone, or by mail. Once the credit bureaus get your dispute and deem it valid, which is a whole other conversation for a whole other place and time, so make sure to subscribe and join our congregation and visit our website and grab a free report. But once the credit bureaus get your dispute and deem it valid, they're required to investigate the item, during which they're going to contact that collection agency for verification of your account. And by the way, the credit bureaus call it a reinvestigation, as if there was an investigation before that item was slapped on your credit report. Just on a side note, they call it a reinvestigation, but they investigate it by contacting the collection agency in this case and asking them for verification. As per your settlement agreement, the collection agency is not going to verify your account when the credit bureaus investigate. The Fair Credit Reporting Act requires that the credit bureaus remove any item from your credit report that can't be verified. In other words, this is how to get that collection listing removed and deleted from your credit report, because it's not going to be verified when the credit bureaus investigate. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Now, to wrap this all up, chances are your rights are being violated. That's just normal standard operating procedure in both the debt industry and the credit system. But here's the thing, rather than try and sue these guys or get them to apologize for it, we'd encourage you to have a much more pragmatic approach. If this is a legitimate debt, we'll settle it or we'll handle it, and let's get our credit fixed. That's a much more effective, much better peace of mind and a much better approach to all this stuff. And part of this, when everything's said and done, your credit score is just like your grade point average in school days bygone. It doesn't matter if you're acing all your courses, if you're failing the art of walking, because that's going to ruin your overall GPA. And the same principle applies to your credit score, and it's why it's so important to get a better credit score, that we remove those negative items from your credit report, because that's what's damaging and dragging your credit score down. We encourage our members to consider professional, legal, and legitimate credit repair firms to help with this, because in 2016 alone, over 9 million negative items were removed from consumer credit reports. One of the best firms are the Credit Pros. They've helped clients remove collections, late payments, charge-offs, judgments, liens, and many more negative credit report items. Get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Again, that's for a free credit consultation, and the toll-free phone number is 1-877-418-7596. This is Dan Willis. We're going to include a link in the description below over to an article on our website for the full story. We also have a free report available there, the 7 proven ways to boost your credit score. Of course, subscribe and join our congregation. Have a wonderful day. Looking forward to talking to you again here soon.